Bonjour à toutes et à tous.
Hello everyone. It is not uncommon for journalists to form a group to conduct an in-depth investigation. The group Info Nile conducted a cross-border investigation into the drying up of the Nile and the appropriation of its water resources. Their work revealed that foreign investors were acquiring huge swathes of land in the region and even displacing whole communities. It provides interesting insight into how to go about working together on this type of story, as we will see with this cross-border group's co-founder, Ugandan journalist Frederick Mugira.
We have an obligation to make sure that we write stories that helping to conserve environment, so we can expose those who are destroying it. We can bring to limelight those who are working to conserve it. So I think that's the work of journalists now. We thought it was very important for us to tell the story of River Nile in a combined form. It's not right, for example, to tell a story of one resource, one transboundary resource, in fragmented stories. So what we do, we focus on one issue, for example, like climate change or land grabbing, and then we give journalism grants to journalists in the region to work on these stories. I will give an example of the story that we recently worked on called Sucked Dry. So we are looking at how foreign companies are coming into the Nile Basin to grab land, and what they use it for, and then they take the profits and the products back to Middle East. Land Matrix is an international organization that tracks land grabs in the whole of the world. So we worked with their office in South Africa, and we were able to track the cases, the numbers of land grabbing in the Nile Basin. Who is grabbing, the amount of land they are grabbing, where they are situated. See, these are things that we as journalists would not do, because we will not go to these regions to find out, to document. We as journalists were not able to have all skills. Code for Africa was able to come in and help us visualize this data. I strongly believe that the impact of a story is affected by the way the story is told. If you tell the story in a better way, with, for example, visualizations, with videos, it's bound to have a big impact in the audience, in the communities you are targeting, rather than, just writing texts. In a new form, using geo techniques. So we tell these stories, using location data generated by scientists. So when they work on these stories, they produce their local stories in their countries. So later they give us an international version of their local stories, and then we bring them together to form one project. What we did, for example, in Sucked Dry, we were able to map these stories depending on where the reporter is and where the story is based. If it is Kenya, we did a map of the Nile Basin, and we were able to map these stories. We are looking at a time when there are water conflicts between the Nile Basin countries. We want to pay attention to who is extracting how much. If, for example, if it is not regulated, the extraction of water, if it's not regulated, it would affect the waters of the Nile. When you talk about the story of water, it does not only mean the story of River Nile. Foreign companies come to Africa, to the Nile Basin, not to grab land, but the resources within the land. And this resource now in the Nile Basin is water. So this is why I strongly believe that the story about water is very important now to be told, now and tomorrow. It has science in there, it has history, it has everything, biology. When you get interested in writing about environment, it's very important also to specialize in one particular field in environment. And it rewards, you become an expert in this field. You are able to serve your country, your nation, your region by helping to tell people stories about conservation, by advocating for conservation of these resources. So it needs a dedicated mind.